In this video, we're going to look at both sides of is it worth it having a girl or is it not worth it? Because a lot of guys say it's not worth it. So we're going to actually look at both parts and analyze what is the positive and the cons, and then you make up your mind at the end of the video. So what happens is when you get into a relationship, a lot of the guys, what they complain about is that they take. Well, most of them do. And what happens is a lot of guys are saying it's not worth it, it's not this. But why is it that they have a natural feeling to get a girl? So let's look at it. Let's look at the bad things and let's look at the good things. So the bad things are, we have to understand that mainly when guys want a girl is for their reproductive value. So in other words is mainly the physical attractiveness. But there's really three things that men want. So we're breaking them down and we call these the three metrics. So we have attraction, which is a big one, competence, and fun. So when guys look at a woman, they really look at this one a lot.
They put a lot of importance on it.
A lot of importance because that's how we are. We first of all, if she's not attractive, we don't care. We're going to explain this, how fun she is and how competent. We don't really want to get with her physically. If she's not physically attractive, there's no physical attraction.
There's not really a connection.
Exactly. So the whole thing is when she's attractive, that's what we want. So a lot of men want to mate with a lot of women that are attractive enough. So what happens is now, what's the price that we're going to pay for that attraction? Okay, so we look at what men have as value. So men, what they really do is they have to get resources. So they work for resources. Resources is, you know, skills, money, assets, basically. And what happened is that, and they also have time and energy and attention. So all these are assets that men have. So they have to work for a lot of these resources. They're not given to them. So what happens is, men, when women value men, they look at those too. They look at attraction, competence, and fun. So when women are looking at that, they want those resources from men. So what happens is men saying, hey, a lot of the women want a lot of resources for basically their body. So this is the exchange that they're doing, men and women. So women are offering their sexuality, and then men is their resources. So what happens is that men say, all the resources, it takes a lot of work to get, so I can just get sex. So it's like, what's the point? Yeah, a lot of them aren't. But there's actually women that will give you something that's worth more than sex. So a lot of guys, what they're really focusing on is something that they're missing. They're focusing on what's missing, and most guys don't get a lot of sex. So that's what they want. So what they see is the price tag for sex, and they're like, it's not worth it, so they give up. They're like, I can barely take care of myself, and then I have to do all this other stuff that she wants, and that's what a lot of guys do. So what happens is there's women out there that are attractive, competent, and fun. So let me explain what competence and fun is. So attraction is, we got that out of the way. Competence is she an asset? So in other words, does she add value to you? So let's say you have a business, or you make some money and you work and stuff like that. What is an asset to a guy is that she's adding value. So she's not taking away resources, she's giving resources. She's helping you get resources. So in other words, some women want like a nice car, a nice house, they want everything nice, and you pay for it. And that's the problem. So there's some girls that are like, we don't have to get a super nice house, we don't have to do this. But what they want to do is have a good quality of life. So we talk about that a lot. Quality of life. In quality of life, you have to have three things. So you have to have your health, your asset, and your relationships. And then there's desires. So a lot of women, they want desires, big house, vacations, lifestyle.
Right. They put it in front.
They want to have they want to have a lot of fun that costs a lot of money. So what happens is they put this as a priority. And what happens when you have a relationship, the girl knows what's valuable. She's not really valuing the money or the resources like a gold digger. What she's really valuing is the potential future. What happens is that when men and women come together to form a synergy, it's like two hands instead of one. So when you're a single guy, it's like one hand. When two hands come together and they work together, that's synergy. But when the left hand's telling the right hand, gimme, I want to do this, I want to do that.
It wants to do its own thing.
And this one is working out a lot, doing all the heavy lifting, and this one's relaxing. That's not a healthy relationship. And that's what most relationships are, because men allow it, in my opinion. So what happened is what you value is what's going to be used against you. So if you value a lot of attraction, guess what? Girls are going to leverage their attraction lever to get what the resources you want. So if you give into it, you give resources for the attraction, then they're getting the best deal out of the trade, and they won't respect you for it because they know that you're very influenceable
Right.
through an attraction. Oh, she just has a nice ass, and then they can get anything they want from this guy. That's why it's not attractive.
She's getting the most for producing the least.
Right. So that's where they use sexuality because they know that men like that. And then men use money because that's what women like. So that's why a lot of men say, oh, you got to make more money. Not necessarily. What happens is when you're looking for a girl, you're looking for a girl that wants to build a quality of life. So if she understands this right here, that the most important is your health, your assets, and then your relationships. When you focus on your health and she focuses on her health, and then she is a competent woman that's an asset that adds, not taking resources, adding resources. She gets it. If he wins, I win because we're together. So if I help him make more money, if I help him spend less money, if we buy a smaller house, this will do this. We're going to get more money. We're going to get a higher pool of assets. So just in case something happens, we have more peace of mind. That's what men want. So if she understands that he wants more peace of mind and she gives it to him, he's going to treat her better not to let go of her because she's rare. But he has to educate her in this department. So there's other videos where we talk about why this is important. So he has to educate her, and then he has to convince her to get on his team. And what happens is it's a bright future. But he has to be competent. So that's what's going to attract her is his intellectual competence and his physical competence in producing assets. So somebody that's competent, that's smart, is going to invest the least and get the most. So his competence rating goes really high.
Right.
So if he's very competent, he's disciplined, he's focused, and all those things, he's going to transfer those skills to take care of his health, which in turn will make him look attractive. Successful people know how to dress, they know how to take care of themselves, they're always presentable and stuff like that. They know that. They know that a guy that's physically fit is more respectable, he gets more sales, he gets more money, he's more competent. So what happens is to be competent requires all these skills, and your attraction naturally goes up. When your attraction and your competence go up, then women start paying attention. And women are going to like you more, so they're going to submit to you more because you're competent. So when they submit, you give them this ideology of what's important, and then she will help you do those things. So the reason that guys don't do that is because they see the transaction for resources for sex. But what happens when they work on themselves to improve themselves, they put it on easy mode more than this way. And what happens is that women are willing to submit and follow the man that's worth following. This is what's worth following. So what happens is guys don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
It's easier not to shower every day. It's easier not to clean up. It's easier not to be fashionable. It's easy not to have an expensive car. It's easy not to have a nice house. It's easy not to do all those things. Just do the bare minimum. But if you do the bare minimum, you're going to get the bare minimum sex or the low quality sex.
No low quality woman.
Why would you blame a woman when she has real desirable to get the least? If she gets smart enough, she gets competent, she's going to get a guy that makes her better. Not a guy that gives her what her wants and then she's just going to self-destruct. It's like a druggie wants drugs and then you give him drugs, what's going to happen? Eventually they're going to fall. So you can give a gold digger a bunch of money, she's never going to get filled, but she's never going to be happy either. Right. That's why that happy wife, happy life doesn't work.
No.
Because she's the leader and she doesn't know where she's going and you're helping her
wander around aimlessly.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't work. That's why you need to be the leader, but you need to be competent of those things.
A competent leader.
Yeah, competent. So what happens is, yes, it costs resources, but when you do that and the girls are like, oh, look, take me out, do this. See, that's give me. And you're like, you know what? You may be hot as fuck, but I'm not looking for that kind of girl. I'm looking for this kind of girl that happens to be attractive. Or you can look at a girl, she can start out that way, but you can see signs where she can be competent. Because that's why I recommend always get a girl that's into you. Because when she really likes you, she doesn't care if you take her to the fancy restaurant. She doesn't care if you take her to Chipotle. All she wants to be is with you. So how do you get a girl to choose you? You have to do these two things. When you're young and the girl's a little bit dumber and you're attractive, that's enough. Because they haven't lived. They don't know that you need to pay the bills. But once you get older, I don't care how hot you are, if you don't pay the bills, they're not going to be with you. They might cheat on the guy that's competent and doesn't have attraction. This is the good guy. He's very competent but not attractive. They might go sleep with the guy that's attractive. So that's what happens. But if you raise these competent and attraction, it's good. So what are guys that are real competent but not attractive? It's like those rich guys are out of shape and they get cheated on because, well, they're not fun. So what happens is if a girl is very competent, helping you out, gives you peace of mind, and she's attractive, the next thing is you have to really enjoy being with her. So after a while, I don't care if you're with an attractive girl, really, really attractive, you're going to have sex with her for a long time. So men that have been in a relationship for a while with a girl you wanted to be with, after a while you have sex with her for a long time, you're kind of like, okay, whatever. See, it starts highlighting, is she
like
helping
what
me?
else?
Is she even fun? Do I even like being with this girl? And if you don't, that's the wrong girl. And if you don't like hanging out with her, but if you like to, let's say, play football, and she doesn't know, that's not you liking her. You're picking the wrong things because you need to go to this. What's important is your health, your assets, and your relationship. Playing football is a desire. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but that's your desire, not hers. But if you want to have fun and she wants to hang out with you, that's good doing these things. So would you rather have a girl that hangs out with you because she likes football, or would you want a girl that hangs out with you and she wants to work out to work on her health? You might want to hang out with your buddies and play football and drink beer and get fat. But what's really good for you is your health. And if she wants to do that, let's say you don't. So there's a lot of good-looking girls that work on their health and the guy doesn't. Well, guess who's going to bang him? Maybe the personal trainer because he has attraction. So you have to kind of work on that too. You have to stay attractive for her. You have to make it painful for her to lose you. Because if she loses you, since you work on those things and she knows you, you're a good bet. And if you're fun. So if she doesn't want to lose you, if she separates from you, she's going to look at it as a downgrade. But if you get it, that's why a lot of married men, they get married, they get fat, they start working, and they're not fun anymore. Well, guess what? They're not very attractive to be with. That's why the girls complain. And they want you to do those things. And it's easier not to do them. Hey, I already paid the bills. That's good enough. So it's hard to do those things. So some of the guys, the easy thing is, all they take is resources and all you want is sex. But if you say, no, I want a girl that helps me. I want a girl that's fun. Well, guess what, fucker? You have to do it too. I want you to be fun. I want you to help me and stay attractive. But I'm going to do the bare minimum. I'm not going to be attractive. And fun, you're going to have to do what I want to do. No, that's one-sided. It doesn't work that way. So what happens is when guys say those things, yeah, it sounds like it's not worth it. But it's because the really truth is you're not willing to do those things. So if you're bitching about not finding a good girl, it's because you don't have what it takes to be a good guy. That's basically it. So stop being a little bitch, basically. So this is what happens. But what happens is if you value attraction, that's what they're going to use against you. If you value competence, that's what they're going to use against you. And if you value fun, that's what they're going to use against you. Let me give an example. So if they're hot as fuck and they take, and they're no fun, that's like the sugar daddies. They're attracted to them, and you know they don't have fun. You know that the young girl's not helping them, so they're just taking. That's the people that subscribe to OnlyFans. They pay them to look at their naked ass and look at a butthole that looks different from any other girl but looks similar. And that's basically it. So see the girls, give me $5 and you get to see my butthole. That's what it is. See, you're trading. Okay, that's what it looks like. So they use that leverage to give me money for that because it's so cheap. Okay, so if a girl that's competent and it's not attractive and it's not fun, what the hell is she? That sounds kind of like a wife. Like after you get with her, you're first attracted to her and then you lose that attraction. You don't fuck her anymore. That's why you rather go look at OnlyFans or porn or something else because you're not attracted to her. But you're with her because she's competent. I mean,
she still helps out.
She still helps out, raises the kids, pays for the bills, but you don't like to be with her. That's a competent woman. Only competent. So what's somebody that's fun, that's not attractive and not competent?
It's like a buddy.
It's like a tomboy girl. It's like, you're not going to fuck her. She doesn't do shit with you, but she's cool. So it's like a girl that hangs out with the guys. A pick-me girl, kind of. So like, most guys don't even hang out with girls like that.
No.
So they're like, there's no really fun girls.
Just fun, yeah.
You know, there's just fun. There's not really. So like, if you go on this side, what do girls look at? Just attractive, but they're not competent or not fun. It could be like the bad boys. They're just hot. You treat them like shit. They're assholes, but they're hot. Those are this one. What if the guy's competent? He's not fun. He's not attractive. That's the good guy. That's the beta.
That's like the workaholic too.
That's the beta. Okay. And what about the guy that's fun? He's not attractive, and he's not competent. Oh, that's the gay guy.
Like, oh, like that's the friend zone.
The friend zone, the gay guy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what's like the guy that's fun and attractive? That could be the bad boy too. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. So when you have over here, you have three. It's almost like a unicorn. So she's attractive, she helps you, and she's fun. Those are the power couples sometimes. Those are the people that help out each other. You feel this energy, so stuff like that. So those are the ones that they have those three things. So it takes a lot of work to it though, and that's what they're really saying. When I hear guys that say it's not worth it, sometimes they don't understand it. It's okay, because that's what it seems like sometimes. And yes, some girls are this, but what they're doing is they're testing you. If you say no to her, then she has to work for something else. That's why a lot of relationships don't work, because the guys get in it just for the sex, and then they realize they don't like her, and they're like, oh, and the girl's like, well, I got him in. This is what he likes. Yeah, but that's not what keeps him.
Right.
This is what keeps him. They have to enjoy being with that girl, and they have to incorporate some kind of benefit, not just because it gets old where they just sleep with you and you pay for everything. In the beginning, maybe, because it's new. But after a while, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna unsubscribe from this subscription. That's really what it is.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. Like you said, the power couples. So like when you see people that really have all three things, they kind of start to move as one. So like they have the same values, they have the same goals, they focus on their health, assets, and their relationships.
Well, they're both in shape. They're both healthy.
So they're both in shape by being healthy. That's the byproduct, is being attractive. And then with the assets, they help each other. So they have a very good future. They're both win-win. So when he does good, she wins. When she does good, he wins. So they help give each other that peace of mind. And then when they have those two things, the relationship becomes a little bit easier. It flows better.
Absolutely, because if you see somebody that's more health and asset growing incentive based, and they're both on the same team, they complement each other. So,
very much so.
Like if the guy says, I'm going to do this to help the business, and the girl's like, yes, I'm going to do that too, but I'll do this side. But both of the things are doing separate things, but for the common good of the whole relationship in itself. So like if the girl says, hey, we spend a lot of money going out, let's stay home, I'll cook. And the guy's like, you know what, yeah. Okay, you know what, let's say meal prep. I'll grill the meat and you cut up the vegetables and get stuff inside. Okay, and then they come together. So what happens there is they're saving money, they're being healthy, and that adds. And you know, then there's like a guy who goes, let me learn the skill to, let's say, build construction or some kind of skill that pays all the time. So he learns it, so she benefits. If he does good on one thing, she benefits. And then she's like, oh, I'll learn a skill like, say, accounting. To put in bookkeeping.
So I can help
so
the
I don't
business.
have to learn it.
So I do that part of the business. You focus on whatever skill you've decided, and then she does the books and all of that stuff, so that neither one of you really has to.
You don't have to do the same work twice.
There you go.
Yeah. So like, say if she does bookkeeping, why would I want to do bookkeeping? She has it covered.
Yeah.
As long as she's competent.
And all you really have to do is like us to understand the numbers. I can give you a report. You understand the numbers, you see where we're at.
Yeah, because if we're doing both bookkeeping, we have both methods, and then we start arguing, I'll do it this way, do it that way, and then we're like, oh. That's why in a business, they have individual situations, departments to do things. Okay, you're the finance guy, you're the CEO, you're the HR, you're the marketing, you're doing this.
They have their roles.
They have their roles, and if they have certain requirements to do it, if they don't keep up, they get replaced. And that's how sometimes you have to look at relationships. Because if you're a guy, most guys are not unattractive. It's just they lack the things they need to do to be attractive. And what happens is because these are not doing things than doing things. So what happens is you have to be the most attractive that you can, because that's your best priority, your best bet. You're going to attract more or less on the level that you arise your attraction to, because that's like gets your foot in the door.
Right.
These two, it's a combination of these two. They can be very rich and not attractive, and what happens is that you can still pull because this one's so high. But you're going to attract people that value this one more than this one. And if girls are just attracted to the hot guy, then they're going to attract more looks than competence. And that's usually when they're younger. So the two guys that have most of them, they're attractive and they're competent. They're the ones that get most of it. So why wouldn't it make sense that the girl's going to go for the best one to compete? Girls are really competing for the best priority with the guys. So your best bet is to be those three things. And those are all learnable. So that's the pros and the cons of having a relationship. When you have a relationship, won't you want somebody to help you? Yeah. But you have to work for it. But even if you work for yourself, aren't you benefiting firsthand? Yes. So the thing is, don't be lazy. The thing is, the lazy is just work the minimum to get on by, and that's it. But if you get somebody on your team to help you, it's like, you want some help or not? It's like you're trying to, what is it, move the couch by yourself? It's easier with the other person. And the other person that's trying to move a couch is easier with you. So why don't you just get together and make the couch happen? You move the couch and then you make love and you guys are happy. On the couch.
On the couch.
But don't film.
Yes, because no one understands the cloud.